in the Sheriff's Department, 2 terms as the sheriff himself. He was reelected 2 times by an overwhelming margin. He's middle class. That's important because I want middle class people watching out for me in times like these because I'm middle class myself. Put himself through college, worked at Sears while he went through college. Number 1 priority is jobs. In fact, he's a champion for small business. He sits on the Small Business Committee. Brad's going to fight to keep the United States competitive by insisting on fair trade agreements. Brad doesn't hesitate to reach across the aisles. If anybody listened to what Senator Evan Bayh said when he stepped down from the Senate, is he was sick of the partisanship. Brad's the kind of guy that is not partisan. He can reach across the aisle. A lot of people try to paint Brad like he's a big liberal Democrat, which is not true at all. I want to point out, he voted against cap and trade. There was a lot of pressure on Democrats to vote for cap and trade. He voted against it. He's been endorsed by the National Rifle Association. How many Democrats do you know have been endorsed by the NRA? He's pro-life. How many Democrats do you know are pro-life? A lot of people say he's almost like a Republican. I think that's a good thing. He's a Democrat, but he knows how to work with both sides of the aisle. And isn't that what we're frustrated with? The partisanship, the refusal to cooperate with each other, and the gridlock affects us. He's the kind of guy that'll reach across the aisle. He's the kind of guy, if he was your senator right now, you would like him. A lot of people would like him because they'd say, hey, he's normal. He's not your typical liberal Democrat or your typical right-wing Republican. He's a guy that could reach across the aisle. Contrast him with his opponent, who moved out of Indiana, moved to North Carolina, and has a famous video that's playing on YouTube right now, sort of mocking the Hoosiers. He's a lobbyist that represents big interests. He's not middle class. He's done very well for himself. God bless America. But the fact is, in my opinion, Congressman Brad Ellsworth is the guy that's going to represent you and me the best. Please give him your vote in November. I know you'll be proud of him. Thank you.
Thank you. I think he really hit the nail on the head about what's wrong with our government. You can't tell the difference between the Democrat and the Republican because they're both starting to move so close to the center and still doing the wrong things. If you want somebody who's going to go against what's happening right now, if you're completely happy with the federal government the way it's operating, by all means, keep voting for Democrats, keep voting for Republicans. Keep voting for what you have. If you're interested in seeing some real change happen, if you're interested in seeing somebody actually ask you what you think about some legislation, or get your input like they're supposed to, when's the last time you talked to your representative? When's the last time you came to one of these and actually said, hey, what's up? What do you think about the legislation? Probably been a while, right? Rebecca Sink-Burris is a teacher. She understands what we're going through. She understands the education system and all the problems there. Rebecca Sink-Burris has been working in the political world for a long time, tirelessly, and she's lost a lot. But now she has a chance, a real chance, because things are so bad right now that people are starting to wake up and say, we need something different. Rebecca Sink-Burris is something different, and she'll give you the change you're looking for.
Thank you.
I looked at Ellsworth's website before I came here, and I mentioned to the gentleman who just spoke a minute ago that I thought was actually a fairly conservative gentleman, but I didn't see anything on the record. Basically, as I understand it, Ellsworth has voted 90% of the time for the Obama and Pelosi agenda. That's not conservative. That's basically not what I want as a personal voter, though I'm here today to speak not for Dan, which is impossible, to speak toward Dan. Healthcare, since the projections, after repealing the damage that has been done with the Obama, Pelosi, Ellsworth spending bill, we must seize the opportunity to ensure that constructive solutions to address the healthcare problems we face are the result of listening to the American people. Healthcare costs are out of control. We need to make improvements without sacrificing personal freedoms and without tax increases and more deficit spending. Unfortunately, for a year, Obama, and I would assume that since Ellsworth has voted with him, Ellsworth, have focused on healthcare spending while Americans were focused on our first real priority, jobs. None of this should have been a surprise that Obama, Pelosi, and Ellsworth wanted to take control of 1/6 of our country's gross domestic product by putting their liberal agenda ahead of getting our economy back in shape. We do have problems with health care, and they need to be attacked in an intelligent way, in my opinion, excuse me, Dan, bipartisan way. with open door policy, not to be locked the other party out of the room. I'm not very impressed with Dan Ellsworth's record. I think he's a great guy, but I sure don't agree with the way he votes. Thank you.